So today's video, you're gonna find out that you can actually change a habit in a moment. How long does it take to break a habit? Well, some scientists say 21 days. I mean, there's probably multiple different scientifically proven whatever that takes to change a habit. And I'm gonna tell you that changing a habit only takes a moment. And so I'm gonna share with you a habit that I had that I was able to change in just a moment. I used to have the habit of procrastinating. And it wasn't just procrastinating, it was never finishing anything. And I don't know if any of the rest of you have ever experienced that, but you have like billions of projects started and you have good intentions to finish them all, and for whatever reason, they just never get finished. Well, that was me. And I had boxes of projects, I had intentions of projects to start, I had so many different things that I wanted to do, and I have tons of ideas of amazing things that I was going to do with my life and books I was going to write and all those kinds of things. And for some reason, I was a really great starter, but I was not a super great finisher. And I didn't really know why. It was just like this compulsive behavior that just kind of happened, and I felt like I had no control over it. So I'm going to call that a habit. A habit would be something that is you're doing compulsively without really knowing why. And maybe even going so far as to say you wish you could stop it, but for some reason you can't, that you know it would be better if you could choose something different, but for whatever reason you're not able to stop, not able to change the behavior. See, I believe that every habit starts in the moment of survival. Like there's something that happens, and maybe it's when we were a little kid, 5 years old or whatever, and something happened and we had to wrap our little 5-year-old brain around this thing that's happening, and there's some decision that we made within ourselves that if I don't fix this, I'm gonna die. I'll be separated from my family, nobody will love me, whatever, and I'm gonna die. And so there's like this fight or flight that happens when a traumatic situation happens, and especially if it's when we're little and our brains are not quite developed enough to be able to wrap ourselves around this and figure out that it's not really, a life or death situation, but that's what we perceive it as. So there's a habit or a behavior that is created to kind of put a Band-Aid on the wound, to patch up the situation so I don't die. And these habits can take the form of so many different things. I mean, I couldn't even mention them all. There might be going to food for comfort. There might be a compulsion to try to control things. There might be, like for me, I had a hard time finishing things. And so many different things, and even maybe like an addiction to something that soothes over that wound. So for me, in investigating why do I have such a hard time finishing, this memory came up from when I was younger, and someone suggested the idea that we were here on the planet to accomplish something, that we had a mission to complete, and that if we can complete this mission, then we can move on to our next stage in life, into the next life, into afterlife, whatever you want to call it, and we will be rewarded for having completed our mission. And in my little brain that was still trying to figure stuff out, I made the decision that if I finished my mission on Earth, I would die, because there'd be no reason for me to stay here because I'd already accomplished everything that I came here to do. And so that was the decision that I made. So as a consequence, I created this habit of not finishing, because if I finish, I'm going to die, right? So that decision that I made, was that true? Was that a good decision for me to make? Well, no. Maybe in the moment it might have served a purpose to help me feel comfortable and at ease that I don't have to die right now. But now as an adult, and I see what my mission and purpose and calling is on earth, I realize, and now that I've actually broken that habit and I do finish things, I realize that I can finish this mission and then I can have a new mission and I can do more and more and more good in the world as long as I'm here. And what I have discovered is that really our capacity to serve and inspire and influence is limitless. It's as much as we're willing and capable of putting in to life. Whatever we do here, it's just going to expand. We're just going to be able to do more and more, have more and more capacity the more that we accomplish. So the promise that I made you in the beginning, that I'm going to show you how to change a habit in a moment. This is what happened to me. When I discovered that that was the reason, I made a choice to change it. I made a choice to choose a different belief that I have multiple missions to accomplish, and it's all about finishing. That I am a finisher. I'm the starter. I'm a really good starter, and I'm also a really awesome finisher. And when I created that belief, then all of a sudden, and I saw the reason why I wanted to have that new belief, then all of a sudden I saw all my projects. I was able to ditch the ones that really didn't matter to my purpose, and I delegated some, and some of them I embraced. And I was like, these are the ones that I want to leave as a legacy that I actually finished. And I know that when those are finished, more are going to come. I'm going to have more opportunities. And it's not this drudgery. It's not like this, if I do that, then I'm going to be given something more. No, it's a gift. It's a joy to be able to finish something, have that sense of accomplishment, and then move on to something else. And when a habit is created from an erroneous decision, something that isn't really true and that's not going to serve, when a habit is created from that space, the habit's never going to turn out well. It's never going to accomplish what really needs to be done, and that is to change the decision about yourself. So that habit was created in a moment of panic when I felt like I was going to die. And so identifying that and knowing that that's the space that it was created from, then all that needs to happen is to say, okay, that's not really the correct decision. So this is the new decision that I make about myself. And now I'm going to create some new habits that support this new decision. So create a new decision. Create a new decision that serves you, and then begin to create habits that will serve that purpose, because those habits will serve you. Those habits will turn out to be to your benefit because they're made from a decision that is more true. And when a habit comes about because of a decision that was made in a space of fear, like I've mentioned before, fear motivation is temporary. And so a habit that is created in a space of fear is only going to be a temporary fix. It's not going to get you to where you want to go. So the habit will continually be a cycle that never really plays out and never really gets you the end result that you want. So realizing that, then sometimes that makes it a little bit easier to let go of the habit and to choose something else. So take a look at your habits, which ones are serving, which ones are based in good decisions that are taking you where you want to go, and which decisions were made, which habits were created in a time when a decision was made in a fearful state. And those habits are the ones that, obviously you'll want to. All right, so take a look at your habits and change the ones that were created to kind of patch over this feeling of survival. And those habits that you created in a state of love, that you're actually moving forward, keep those. The ones that are not working for you, just make a new decision about yourself. Realize that those were created in a moment of panic when you thought you were going to die, and create a new habit based on a higher truth. So when you identify the habit and the energy that it was created from, if it was created from any kind of energy of survival mode, then that habit is worth changing. And when you identify that moment that the habit was created from, you'll understand the decision that was made about yourself in the moment. Choose a different decision. And based on that new decision that's more true about who you are, create a habit that supports that person, that supports you living at your highest and best self. And all it takes is a moment of decision to change that habit. Thanks for watching today. If you want more information on how to break your habits quickly in a moment, comment below and go to my website, wylenebenson.com, in the link in the description.